Chief Mu's mansion, or the royal palace, in the Lijiang Old Town, was built for the local hereditary chief who ruled Lijiang in ancient times. From the Yuan dynasty, the Mu family of the Naxi minority began to rule over Lijiang, and the position was passed down within the family for generations. In the Yuan, Ming, and Qing dynasties, a total of 22 members of the Mu family successively ruled over Lijiang. They received praise for loving poetry and literature and displaying good manners. Interestingly, the 4 Chinese characters Tian, Yu, Liu, Fang, inscribed on a stone tablet by the mansion's front gate, and which literally mean timely rain brings about enduring fragrance, have the same pronunciation as the Naxi words going to school. The Mu mansion covers 46 mu of land, and its circumference measures 369 meters. Like most Naxi buildings, the mansion is oriented toward the east in hopes that its owner would have the success of the rising sun. Construction of the Mu mansion reached its peak in the Ming dynasty. In Xu Xiake's travelogues, the famous Ming dynasty geographer Xu Xiake wrote, "The mansion is so luxuriously built that it even rivals the glory of the royal family." The assembly hall of the Mu mansion was the place where the monarch handled his office work, and the Hufa Hall, literally meaning protection of Buddhism, was the place where the chief discussed his family affairs. The most eye-catching building is a huge library in which he kept his books. His collection included over 1,000 volumes of Dongba scriptures, about 100 volumes of what's known as the Buddhist great sculptures, and poetry anthologies of the previous Mu family chiefs. It's worth mentioning that a wooden bridge was built to access the mansion's backyard gardens. To avoid blocking traffic, which would disturb the lives of the people, the designers decided to build the bridge when constructing the mansion. This could possibly be taken as the embryo of China's contemporary bridges. Walking through the wooden flyover, we are now entering the Lijiang Old Town. The Dai'an townlet inside the Lijiang Old Town is an ancient city's living fossil. Its value lies not only in its ancient streets, old lanes, and century-old houses that still remain intact today, but also in the traditional concept and style of life it embodies. The Dai'an townlet is the hub of the Lijiang Old Town. It received its name from its shape, which vividly resembles a huge jade inkstone. The town grew to a good size as early as the Song dynasty. On his southward expedition to conquer Dali, the Yuan dynasty emperor Kublai Khan sent his troops over the Jinsha River in sheepskin rafts and encamped at Dai'an. In the present-day Dai'an town, we can still find a small lane named A Ying Chang, which was then the campsite of the Mongolian soldiers. All streets in the Dai'an townlet stretch out from a square that is 100 meters both long and wide, and so the place is called Square Street. Cutting through the inhabitants' houses, the small streets have formed a huge labyrinth. The Lijiang Old Town has fully embodied the concept of harmony between man and nature. The streets of the Old Town are paved exclusively with colorful stones, with water from springs flowing quietly on both sides. When describing towns of South China in general, the famous Chinese poet Yuan Mei wrote, "With its gentle and sweet flow, the water willingly flows into people's houses when summoned." These verses also adequately depict Lijiang. Meandering alongside the streets, the streams happily meet at street junctures, and then part and rush separate ways. No one knows if the streets are the ones diverting the spring water, or if the streams have formed the streets. Yet one thing seems sure, the fresh spring waters are singing praises for the courageousness of the snow mountain and for the tenacity of its snow and ice. For generations, the spring water has molded the crystal pure character of Lijiang's people. When flowing into houses, the bubbling brooks also etch nature's soul into the hearts of the people. And the small stone tablets and narrow wood planks laid across the streams form bridges from the bustling streets to the town's small shops. Like buoyant music, they are singing a tune to the harmony existing between mankind and nature.